Finny.
Let's be honest. When I first heard they were making The Black Phone 2, I rolled my eyes so hard I nearly answered the call myself. I mean, how do you make a sequel to a story that literally ended? The grabber was dead, Finny escaped, credits rolled, everyone clapped. And yet, here we are. Against all odds, The Black Phone 2 not only exists, it dares to reinvent itself. And while it's not perfect, it's one of those rare sequels that doesn't completely drop the receiver. So, it's been 3 years since the events of the first film. Finny and his sister Gwen are older now, still haunted by what happened in that basement. Scott Derrickson, yes, the original director, returns. And that's actually important. Because instead of turning this into a lazy cash grab, he tries to expand the world in a way that feels eerily logical. This time, the movie centers on Gwen, played by Madeline McGraw, who's struggling with her psychic visions and lucid dreams. Only now, those dreams have become deadly because the spirit of the grabber, yep, Ethan Hawke's terrifying mask-wearing monster, has found a new way to reach his victims, through their nightmares. If you die in the dream, you die in real life. Yeah, Freddy Krueger's lawyers might want a word, but trust me, it's handled with more grief and dread than parody. What makes The Black Phone 2 interesting is how it transforms the original's claustrophobic tension into something broader, colder, and more psychological. The story moves from Denver's suburbs to an isolated, snow-covered Catholic sleepaway camp. Think The Shining meets The Ring. The cinematography leans into grainy 16mm textures during dream sequences, creating this dreamy yet disturbing contrast between Gwen's reality and the nightmare realm. Ethan Hawke returns in terrifying form, not as a human killer, but as something much darker, decayed, and vengeful. He's no longer bound by flesh, he's trauma made manifest, a literal ghost of abuse that refuses to die. And you can feel Derrickson trying to say something more this time, about survivor's guilt, repression, and the way trauma lingers long after the screams fade. Finny, now a teenager, numbs his pain with substances and paranoia, while Gwen becomes the emotional anchor, the one trying to find meaning in the madness. This shift gives the movie a heavier emotional core. It's not just about ghosts haunting kids, it's about kids haunted by ghosts within themselves. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not flawless. The pacing definitely drags in the first half. Some dialogue feels clunky, especially when characters start talking about faith and evil in a way that sounds like deleted scenes from The Conjuring 3. There are moments when you'll wish Derrickson had trimmed 15 or 20 minutes, but when the movie hits, it hits hard. The nightmare sequences are visceral and disorienting. The violence, though disturbing, feels grounded in emotional pain rather than cheap shock. And that's what separates The Black Phone 2 from just being another soulless sequel. It still has something to say. For me, what really stuck wasn't the jump scares. It was the emotion. Watching Finny and Gwen try to move forward only to be pulled back by the literal ghost of their trauma, that's darkly poetic. You realize the phone isn't just a plot device. It's a symbol of the past calling, refusing to let go. And yeah, maybe it doesn't quite live up to the freshness of the first film, but it doesn't have to. The Black Phone 2 dares to evolve, to mix grief, horror, and family trauma into something hauntingly human. So, should The Black Phone 2 exist? Probably not. But since it does, I'm glad it turned out like this. It's stylish, emotional, a bit overlong, but ultimately a solid reminder that horror sequels don't have to be brain dead. What did you think? Did The Black Phone 2 justify its sequel status, or should the line have gone dead after one call? Drop your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you think. And hey, if your phone rings at 3 a.m., maybe don't pick it up.